Oladumachi is host of Good Evening Ghana and a seasoned journalist and the former board chair of Ghana Airport Company Limited. Paul, good evening. Thank you. So that's a good evening. Good morning. Good to see you.
Well, you are used to him on Good Morning.
No,
Good Evening Ghana.
Yes.
Except that these days, I don't know what Good Evening Ghana is anymore. But what is it?
I'm not seeing
it. Looks more like an MPP satirical show these days than the top and leading current affairs program that we had decades ago.
This is.
Paul would have to explain.
No, that's fine. That's the opinion that you have.
Paul, it's not opinion. You know, I'm an ardent. When I started politics actively, I was an active listener, and even if I disagreed with your positions on some issues, I respected the.
Well, as far as we are concerned, our ratings are better now.
No, amongst MPP supporters.
No, in general.
Amongst MPP supporters. Amongst MPP supporters.
No, you can. No. It's
what you do on Good Evening Ghana these days cannot pass for the credible current affairs, leading current affairs program on TV.
Why? Why do you say?
Because what it has become, an MPP.
I'd like to respond to some of the
it has become. No, that one you have opportunity. But
so you can talk about Good Evening Ghana.
These are plenary comments.
Yes, please.
Okay.
By nature, I am liberal in my thinking. So I am able to disagree with people and still respect what they stand for. So that Paul is MPP has always been known. It's not something that has not been known. But we still have respected the platform that he had on Good Evening Ghana, where leading figures, newsmakers, luminaries in society, everybody who matters, anybody who was anybody in this our socio-cultural setting, appeared to discuss important national matters. Then before long, especially when President Akufo-Addo rose to power, suddenly the thing has become an MPP outlet, where bizarre, sometimes outrageous propaganda is churned out. I mean, these days, he will go and pick Facebook posts of MPP propaganda and come and brandish it as fact. You know, and if you are not lucky, you will be dressed down on that show without any opportunity to even respond. So clearly, it is not what it used to be. Understand me? And it has nothing to do with the fact that he is MPP. Let me place that on record. The MPP is not a secret cult if you belong to the party. And it's also okay that now he has actually closed the loop and is now representing them on TV. Great. Okay. But he certainly must do something about Good Evening Ghana if he wants to go back to the period where it was a highly respectable. Currently, it is not. And surely, it cannot be a program that is enjoying great ratings. It is not. Great ratings amongst MPP supporters, fine. Why? Why not? If you have an outlet on TV, prime time on TV, you watch it as an MPP supporter. Okay. So I think that you should watch it carefully. Otherwise, it's a huge loss to your station, I must indicate. Because people really tuned in and I watched it. Yes, but I watched it religiously because the quality of the discussion there was great. I mean, the likes of the late Akoto Osei will come in and you will disagree, but you will respect the cadence. You will respect the authority that he brought. These days, that is not the case. There's MPP propagandists, one-sided narratives. You know,
well, it's. I mean, programs evolve, don't they?
But it has evolved. It has evolved in the wrong direction. To be honest with you.
Okay, but that's, like you said, it says that's your opinion, so that's fine.
Of course, but it's an opinion that I'm sure many people will say.
Okay, Paul, you have some preliminary thoughts to share before we get into some specifics.
Yes, on two issues: the economic matter that the minister addressed, and also he talked about Good Evening Ghana. I think I have to respond to us. I see the minister describes himself as a former viewer of Good Evening Ghana. Now we are putting together a product. So we do as much as we can to make sure that the product is improving. Good Evening Ghana has been running since 2001 up until now. We believe that we are still the topmost current affairs conversation every Tuesday and Thursday. That's what we believe. However, if an important person like an MP and a minister describes himself as a former viewer and that he doesn't like the format of the program anymore because it is not just political, it is comical, it doesn't raise real issues, it doesn't analyze much. We take that as feedback. We believe that we are doing a very solid work in terms of even court analysis from 2020 selection petition. Many viewers tell us that when it comes to court issues, they wait for Good Evening Ghana to explain it, and that our capacity to explain these philosophies of law have really helped them to understand a lot. They also tell us that the short documentaries that we put together about political events in Ghana is particularly gratifying to them. Many people call us from across the world all the time. We don't have other ways of measuring the program except the viewership that DSTV will report, and also what Facebook is reporting and what YouTube is reporting. If we put all this data together, we see that we have a tremendous following. The minister would like to caution us that that following may not be, it may be numbers, but it may not be part of the critical mass. If that is so, we take it as feedback. But we will continue to present our show the way that we do it in a very feisty way. The other point that we have made all the time is that no politician, whether you are on the left or on the right, is prevented tacitly, overtly, or covertly from attending Good Evening Ghana. If any politician, whether it's NDC or MPP, wants to attend Good Evening Ghana, the door is open for anyone to attend. In the critical mass part of the election, Mustafa Bande, who is Deputy General Secretary of the NDC, called and wanted to find out whether I host NDC people on the show. And I said, well, he was criticizing that you don't host NDC people, only one side. I said, oh, my brother, you can come. And he came, and we had an interview. On that interview, he was very critical of MPP, and I hosted him. There was another time that I had a small conversation in terms of a political quarrel with unfortunately he passed, Mutala. And then I discussed it on TV. Then I traveled. I think Annie was hosting the show. They called me and said, look, Mutala wants to come. I said, oh, but of course, he should come. He came on the show, and he had opportunity to express himself. So there's no issue about somebody cannot come. Any politician who wants to come. I'm delighted to grant Felix an interview on Good Evening Ghana. He can say all that he wants to say, but we believe that we have held up onto the political history of this country with data facts in a way that not many television programs have in their repertoire. If we go to our internet terabyte space, the amount of shared documentaries that we have on the political history of Ghana, we have analyzed almost everything, including the life of important people. When we did the Kojo Chikata documentary when he passed, we got a lot of plaudits from people who are his family people in the Volta region who were very happy about the way we put the documentary together. So what the minister is saying about Good Evening Ghana is feedback. We believe that we're on the right path, but if anyone says that you are not on the right path, it's something that we will consider all the time, especially coming from an important person like a member of parliament and a minister who describes himself as a former viewer. I mean, we take that as some work that we need to do. So hopefully, Minister, we will take your feedback, and we believe that by the time we meet again, you will be back watching Good Evening Ghana. We are happy to have you watching Good Evening Ghana.